Your heart, keep it in your pocket for safekeeping. Don't ever let nobody.
All right, I'm out here for my morning run walk because I have to be really careful. It's after the Hurricane Ian, and now I guess it's a cyclone, post-hurricane cyclone, I don't know. But I'm out here just trying to get my morning exercise in, turning on the light on my camera, on my phone, so that I can see where I'm going and making sure I'm not tripping over branches and stuff. I just went through my neighborhood. So my neighborhood has a lot of trees. Hold on. I guess maybe they were concerned about some flooding. Thankfully that didn't happen. But there are a lot of trees in my neighborhood, so a lot of branches. I didn't even run on the sidewalks where there were sidewalks because a lot of them are sort of torn up anyway, and it was just gonna be like a double hazard. So I'm trying to fit this in this morning. Looks like the guys are working in burgers. They're here. Starbucks is open also. And really be careful because stuff's just down, even when areas look like they're kind of clear. Like that looks pretty clear. Looks like a trash can lost its lid. But again, most of the business district is pretty clean. We didn't get like extended winds and rain. At about 8:30 last night, I think, was when most of it really hit, at least my area. And it didn't really last that long, so we are definitely really thankful for that. But if you're in someplace else, someplace where, you know, you really got it bad, then yeah, you don't want to be out. Well, I think I just got stopped in my tracks here. This was going so well. Okay. All right. So, trying to decide which way is the best way to go. Which way the ground is probably not as wet. All right. There we go. The interesting thing is the last time we had a really big storm and something came down, it was actually on this street, and it was either a maple or oak. It blocked the entire street and the sidewalk. I literally had to climb through the tree to get to the other side. There was like no room over here. You couldn't get over in people's yards. It completely blocked everything. So it was crazy. So, you know, this was not that bad. So I just passed one of my neighbors who lives on my street. She was out here running. She did not have on a jacket, so I'm sure she's gonna be pretty soaked by the time she gets back to the house. She lives like 2 blocks up from me. So while I've been out, I've already seen people cleaning up, especially down in the business area. So one guy walking his dog and another guy running. So like I said, it's not that bad over here. So we're able to get out. But my prayers, you know, go out to those families who have lost so much. That's just really devastating. Well, it's starting to get a little lighter outside, or maybe that's my imagination, because it still looks very dark in my camera. But I don't know if you're like me. I'm one of those people who, you know, I was glued to the TV watching everything that was happening, because you don't really know, you know, how far it's going to extend where you are and what might happen. Like I had plugged up everything to make sure everything was fully charged and ready to go in case something happened. We had moved our vehicle, you know, to make sure, I'm tired, to make sure they weren't under the trees and stuff, you know, because we have lots of big trees in our yard. My neighbor had even moved one of her vehicles because one of our trees has, you know, been dropping limbs. It needs to be trimmed back. And yeah, we don't want it damaging her car either. So see, it is getting lighter out here. And then my daughter and her friend were going to Charlotte. And I tell you, they left about 30 minutes before it got really bad. He was driving. She called me by mistake, and I called her back, and I was just like, let me know when you guys get there. And I told him, I said, take your time, drive slowly, please be careful. And he was like, I am. I'm driving the speed limit. So yeah, I know that they must have driven slowly because they didn't text me until like after 11. So it took them quite a while to get there. But yeah, so I text her back. Good. Yeah, they're staying in Charlotte for the weekend. So it's still lightly drizzling now. So even though my neighbor didn't have a jacket on, I'm like sweating a whole lot because it's like 59 degrees. So it's a little warm out here for a jacket if you're running and walking. But I'm gonna get back in, finish up this last part with a run. So I'm gonna cut through the park here just to see, how bad the flooding is. My daughter and I just came through here earlier this week, and I just want to see how high the water is. Okay, it's really not that bad. Okay, so I'm gonna head back out here to where I run down this street. Literally, the last time it flooded really badly in this area, I was driving down the street, the water was over the street. Like it was, so that's where the creek is. But we had it one time, so that this was like maybe last year, it was over this street. So this is not bad. And then the street that's ahead up here, the creek crosses over further up. Now that one floods all the time, like literally all the time. Like, if you are leaving or if you're coming back, don't even come into the neighborhood that way because it's gonna be flooded. There are some townhouses that are supposed to be built on some of the vacant land over there, and there is some concern about whether or not that's going to increase flooding. So hopefully it won't, but you're taking down trees in natural areas, and so there is going to be more runoff into the creek, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So I am able to get back out here and run now. My street looks pretty clean on this part. No real issues, so that's nice. And now that it's light outside, I can really see, and I don't have to have my light on my phone. I will finish up this run. Yeah. That's it. I'm going to get out of this wet stuff first. You guys be safe. Get your exercise in.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go. Yes, I'm gonna let you know just how much I tell you my